Namaste, yogis. So good to see all of you. So tonight's practice, we're going to step into the space of ahimsa. Before we move into that space, I am going to read the waiver. So while I'm reading the waiver, if you would like to get comfortable on your mat, we are going to start in a reclined position. In order to make these classes as freely accessible as possible to our participants, we will be using a verbal warning and assumption of risk at the beginning of class. Participation in this online class is voluntary. Physical activity programs may result in injury, and by participating, you assume the risk of injury that may result from your participation. We strongly recommend that you participate from a space that is suitable for this activity. For example, make sure that you use nearby furniture or other potential hazards. If you're participating in a yoga class or a class that involves laying on the ground, we recommend using a mat, or if you don't have one, a carpeted area. Participants are encouraged to stop if they experience pain or injury and should seek appropriate medical advice or care as needed. William & Mary Health and Wellness strongly recommends that each participant have an annual physical exam and follow the advice of your healthcare provider before participating. So again, welcome everyone. So as I was designing practices for our summer session, I thought it was a beautiful time to step into the space of ahimsa. In the second book of the Yoga Sutras, ahimsa is introduced and described with the yamas and the niyamas. And in verse 35, in Satchidananda's translation, he speaks of, in the presence of one firmly established in ahimsa, all hostilities cease. So as you allow yourself to recline down onto your mat, if you're not already there, and you start to draw awareness within, we're going to first draw awareness throughout the body, finding the spaces first that just feel awesome. To start to nurture those spaces, allowing them to grow. And as we practice ahimsa, translated mostly as non-violence, we're going to think of it in a positive term, as nurturing. Allowing the spaces that soften, that need to have a little more softening. And then as we move through this practice today, we're going to explore both the yin and the yang in every movement that we do. We're going to slow that pace down and utilize loving kindness to turn that awareness inwards and really find out what the body needs in each posture. Exploring and deepening where we need to, but then backing away where the body tells us to back away. So take a moment now as you're here to begin to become a little more active in the pose. So allow the toes to start to point up towards the ceiling as you start to find some alignment in the body. Stacking the ankles under the knees under the hips. Let the pelvis come to neutral. And then start to notice the natural curves within the spine. Start lining the vertebrae up, one on top of each other. And then start to make adjustments as the spine gets long. We've taken gravity and put it along the front of the body. So if you've been sitting all day or standing, take the opportunity to let the spine get long. Relax the shoulders. Maybe bring the palms up towards the ceiling. And just let the arms go where they naturally want to go here. Relaxing the shoulder blades on the mat. Then drawing awareness to your breath. We're going to stay in the beautiful natural rhythm of breath. On the inhale, keeping the breath smooth, steady, and gentle. Allow the breath to move into the lungs and move the diaphragm, that feeling of the abdomen rising. Keeping the breath smooth and quiet. Noticing as you deepen the breath to move the diaphragm, there doesn't need to be any more effort. Going deeper with the breath doesn't necessarily mean pulling in more oxygen. Just allow the breath to explore a little more in the body. If it helps you to draw an audible sound to that smooth rhythm, gentle rhythm, allow yourself to find that, an Ujjayi breath. But make it a soft, gentle, almost a whisper if you need to. Then when you're ready, draw the feet to the floor, knees facing up to the ceiling. Notice the shift in the pelvis and bring the pelvis back to neutral again. Now, drawing awareness to the entire torso, allow yourself to draw awareness to the navel just a little bit more. Noticing the natural curve in the lumbar spine, you're going to start to draw the navel back towards the spine and lift the navel up towards the rib cage. Noticing the length that maybe you created in the back side of the body, and draw awareness to the spaces that you may feel thus, whether it be right or left side, maybe both sides, it may be low back, it may be upper back. And then exhale, release. On an inhale, we're going to engage that transverse abdominis one more time, that feeling of the navel pulling back, and then up. And then from here, draw awareness into the side body. What can you do to lengthen the side bodies just a little bit more by turning your awareness with them? Then adding on from here. On an exhale, you can release. Inhale, come back into that engaged core. And then keeping the pelvis neutral, keeping the spine long, lift the right foot up off the floor. Bring the right foot back down to the floor. Inhale, lifting the left foot up, keeping the pelvis neutral, the spine long. Exhale, bring it back down. One more round each side, right side up, keeping the core engaged, pelvis neutral. Left side. Pause for just a moment. Just take in that motion as we add on, knowing where you might need to make some adjustments and knowing where you need to be nurturing, loving, and kind to yourself. From here, we're gonna lift the right foot up off the floor, and we're gonna find that shin parallel, knee over hip. Lift the left up. Stay in that beautiful, nice, even breath that you created. One more round of breath here. And then staying in that place of ahimsa, lowering the right foot down, lowering the left foot down. Adding on from here, remembering that every time that we add on, if it doesn't feel right for you, you just go where it feels right. So as you're ready, getting that core engaged, lift the right leg up, find those tabletop legs, left leg up. Then from here, keeping that pelvis neutral, core engaged, you're gonna push through the right heel and just lengthen the right leg. Hold. Bend the right knee, come back to neutral. Moving to the left side, push through that left heel. Hold. Nice, even breath here. Remember, you can just pause here. Come on back to neutral. Bringing the feet to the floor. Let yourself rock the knees side to side. Pausing back in center. You have the option, we have option 1 where we just came to tabletop, or option 2 where we extended the legs out. We're gonna add a third option in. So as mindfully as you can, we're all gonna meet in that tabletop to start. You're welcome to just stay right here. If you're coming to our third place, reach the hands up towards the ceiling, palms facing each other. Relax the shoulder blades back and down. From here, you're going to extend the right leg out. Let the left arm go up and overhead. Pause for a breath. Draw them back to that neutral place. And then move to the other side. Left leg out, right arm up and overhead. Pause. Come on back to neutral. And then at your pace, you're going to move through 2 more rounds here. Pausing for a little longer if it feels right, as long as you stay in that natural rhythm, smooth, gentle. After you finish your rounds, pause, and then hug the knees into the chest. Rocking side by side. And then rolling to your right side, we're going to transition here to a tabletop. Taking time to set your tabletop up, I want you to draw awareness into the joints where the forefingers come into the hand, the MIP joint. Let's get the weight there and then draw the shoulders from there over the wrists. Knees underneath the hips. We're going to tuck our toes here. And then just sit back momentarily into those heels, opening up those feet a little bit. You're welcome to stay right here with the hands on the mat, but if it's in your practice to bring the shoulders over the hips, you're welcome to go there. Make sure that all 10 toes are on the mat, and if you need to, encourage the ones that are not to join. Notice the length in your spine. Find that subtle awareness of the core, and then draw yourself back up to tabletop. Coming onto the tops of the feet, maybe just gently yogi tapping. And then from this space, allow yourself to just gently move through cat and cow, but with this beautiful awareness of your breath. Keeping that breath nice and smooth. Notice how the smooth breath keeps the yin in the posture. But then also noticing that you can take the opportunity to deepen the posture while staying in the beautiful, smooth breath. Couple more rounds here. And then as you're ready, make your way back to that tabletop. Finding that beautiful length in the spine, reach the crown of the head towards the top of your mat. Reach the tailbone. Notice the natural curves in the spine as you're flipped over now. Notice that beautiful core engagement. Is there any space in this tabletop that you could bring some peace and calm? That you could send your breath to nurture and allow yourself to be gentle with yourself. Then as you're ready, we're going to draw the big toes together. And we're going to sink our hips back towards our heels, coming into a child's pose. As you come into this child's pose, think about that beautiful length that you just created along the back side of the body, that beautiful core engagement. We're going to make this child's pose a little more active here. So we're going to keep the hands out in front. See if you can keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. Let the reach come from the side bodies, from the obliques, and from the 220 muscles along the spine, your extensors. Keep that breath nice and smooth. Keep the hands nice and relaxed on the mat. But allow yourself to find the yin in this more active young child's pose. Find the finger pads. Find the edges of the hand on the mat. Feel the beautiful support of the hands as you allow the body to just soften into the pose. That nice, beautiful breath, gentle and smooth. Couple more rounds of breath here. And then as you're ready, you're going to draw awareness to your left hand, and you're going to start to walk your left hand over to meet your right hand. We're going to start with the hands maybe side to side as we bump that left hip out. But we're gonna do it with this awareness now of keeping that mild core engagement and keeping our hips nice and even. See if that changes the posture for you. Keep the shoulders in line with each other. And then if it feels right, once you've lined up, you're in your beautiful smooth breath to take the left hand on top of the right, go ahead and go there. One more breath here. And then make your way back to center. Maybe noticing some subtle differences between the left and the right side now. And then as you're ready, let's give the right side that treat draw. The right hand over next to the left. Start to bump that right hip out. Keep the hips even, keep the shoulders even. Everybody's in line. We're in this beautiful breath. And maybe if it feels right to take that right hand on top of the left, go ahead and go there. Then as you're ready, walking both hands out in front, you're going to draw yourself back up to tabletop. This time as you make your way to tabletop, we're going to flip the palms and let the fingers face each other, the center of the mat, and just maybe rock side to side. Maybe make some fists. Release the wrists as needed. And then make your way back to tabletop. From here, we're going to draw awareness to that spine again. Get that core engagement. And then extend the right leg out, finding that spinal balance. If it's in your practice to start with the toes on the mat, you're welcome to do that. And then the left hand out in front. Find that balance. Make adjustments with hands and legs. And then draw left hand down, right knee down. Moving to the other side. Extending the left leg, lifting it up off the floor. Keep those hips even. Right hand out when you're ready. Find that balance. Where's your breath? What adjustments can you make to stay in that smooth rhythm? Right hand to the mat. Left knee to the mat. Take a cat and cow if it feels right for you as we add on to here. So as you're ready, remembering you can do what we just did or move on to the next. You're going to extend both the arm and leg, left arm, right leg, same time. Exhale, bring it back to the mat. Inhale. Right arm, left leg. Exhale, extend back to the mat. 2 more times at your pace. Keeping hips even, spine long. Core engaged, breath smooth. Once you've finished your 2 rounds, go ahead and just find a child's pose to reset. This time, if it feels right to take the hands along the side of the body, go ahead and do that. You can release your wrists. Then from here, as you're ready, extend the arms out in front. You're going to tuck those toes. Find all 10 of those toes on the mat. Taking a nice Smooth inhale, lift the hips, and find your first downward dog. Taking time here to just settle in. Notice the openings that you created along that posterior chain. Notice the beautiful length you created along the side bodies. Maybe shake the head yes and no, releasing any tension you might have from maybe a long day. And then as you're ready, on a beautiful smooth inhale, you're just gonna roll forward into a plank. Smooth exhale, back to a down dog. 2 more times at your pace. Inhale, rolling forward. Exhale, moving back. Last round, inhale forward. Exhale, back to down dog. Then inhaling forward, we're gonna hold this plank. Find the yin in this yang. Even breath. Remembering you can always lower the knees if that helps you to stay in your breath. Honoring your body. Where is it at? What is it telling you? And then lowering all the way down. See how slow you can go. Resting the third eye on the mat. Find that breath again, smooth and rhythm. And then placing the hands under the shoulder heads if they're not already there. Allow yourself to press the tops of the feet into the floor. Feel the knees lift. Feel that core engagement. Feel that length along the spine, and then inhale. Just lift. We're gonna hold here. Keep stepping in the air. Smooth. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, you're gonna push yourself up to either tabletop or plank, and we're gonna meet in down dog. Mindfully drawing awareness to the right foot. You're gonna walk to the top of your mat, and you're gonna find a forward fold. As you find this forward fold, I encourage you to rest the abs on the quads, and maybe hold on to opposite elbows. Allow yourself maybe to shake the head yes and no again. And see if you can start to draw your gaze maybe to the shins or the knees as you reach the crown of the head towards the floor. Pausing in stillness, releasing the elbows if you're holding on to them. Trace the hands up to the shins. We're gonna find a half left. See if you can start to get that core engagement again, that beautiful length. Allow yourself to hug the elbows in. Exhale, release. Then drawing awareness into your feet. Press down into the feet. Bend the knees as much as you need to. And then on an inhale, sweep up. Reach the arms up and overhead, but draw those shoulder blades back and down. Bring the hands to heart center, finding samastiti. As you settle into hands at heart center, let's come back to everything that we've worked on so far. that beautiful length that we've created, the beautiful breath that's supporting us. And then draw awareness into the grounding of your feet. Feel all 10 toes touching. And then on the other end, start to feel the crown of your head reaching towards the ceiling. Making sure you've got that micro bend in the knees. And then when you're ready, releasing the hands along the side. Settling into this mountain. Notice the breath again. Are you still in that place of smooth, feeling the diaphragm moving, but not a lot of action up in the chest? Letting the breath be gentle but strong. From here, we're going to bring the hands back to heart center. And we're going to shift our weight into our heels. We're going to lift up all 10 toes. And then we're going to sit into our chair. So as we sit into our chair, everything that we worked on, that core, that long spine, we're going to take our hands and we're just going to place them between our legs. As we place the hands between our legs, you can separate them a little bit. The backs of the hands will start to push on the inner thighs as the inner thighs push on the hands. Settle in. Remember that feeling, and then bring the hands back to heart center. And if it feels right, lift the arms up and overhead. Keep those shoulder blades drawn in and sink a little deeper. Then pushing into the feet. Come on up, reach the hands up, take the gaze up. Bring the palms together. And if it feels right to push the hips a little forward, then come back to neutral and find your mountain. Check in with the breath, 2 breath cycles. Then from here, we're going to come into a wide leg stance. So taking one step out, maybe, I want you to draw awareness into your feet. Feel those outer edges of the feet, lift up all 10 toes, draw them back down. Lift from the core. Find that micro bend in the knees. Then from here, you're going to get a little internal rotation of this left hip. So you're going to turn the toes in. Then you're going to pivot the right foot towards the front of your mat. You'll notice here, placing hands on the hips, we have internal rotation of the back hip, external rotation of the front hip. If it feels right to start to bend into that front knee, go ahead. If you'd like to open it up a little bit, heel toe the foot out. As we do this with gentle loving kindness, staying in your breath, find the space where you're keeping that back edge on the mat. Then from here, bring hands to heart center. Start to open up from that diaphragm, the rib cage, keeping the rotation in the hips. And then extend the arms out, finding that warrior 2. Breathing that beautiful, smooth breath. Lifting up the toes on both feet, drawing them back down. Making sure that core is engaged. flip that right palm. Lift it straight up towards the ceiling as the left hand just rests on that left leg. Lengthening both sides equally. Come on back down into warrior two. And then from this space, you're gonna turn the palms out towards the side. And we're just gonna hinge forward here. Taking that right hand and placing it inside that right knee. My wrist is actually resting here. We're gonna take this left hand and we're gonna put it on this left hip, feeling that internal rotation. And then move up to the rib cage and open up from the rib cage. And then maybe reaching the arm up. Getting as much length on the right side as the left side. Then on a nice smooth inhale, coming back up to warrior two. Turning the palms down towards the floor, straightening the front knee. We're gonna come into a reverse triangle. So we're gonna lift that right arm up, lengthen. Think about reaching up towards the ceiling. Think about opening up that right hip crease. Then come on back down. With that leg straight in the front, we're gonna turn the palms again out towards the side. And we are gonna do that hinge forward again with a straight leg. You're welcome to keep the hand up or do the same thing with the hip and then the rib cage opening up. So we're reaching here forward, starting with the shin, maybe the block, maybe the floor. Make sure you're lengthening both sides equally. Not only is there a triangle between my legs, there's a triangle between my right side body and my right arm. Inhale, come on back up. As you exhale, come into your last warrior on this side. Then taking the hands to the hip creases, you're going to pivot the feet towards the side. From here, just taking a pause, checking in on that breath. Making sure it's still nice and smooth. And then allow yourself to hinge forward from the hip crease. Pausing at about that 50%. Finding that straight line, long spine, core engaged. Then release the hands down to the floor. From here, you can get some movement in the legs if that feels right. If you have an inversion in your practice and you want to go there, you have the opportunity. We're not going to be here super long. Start to draw the crown of the head towards the floor. Lift the hips up a little bit more. And then bending the knees, you're going to bring the hands to the hip creases and come up with a nice flat back as we get ready to set up the other side. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to pivot the right foot in, getting that internal rotation, and then turn the left foot. Settling in here, keeping hands on hips to start. Find that razor edge of the back foot. Make sure that right heel is on the mat. Heel toe the foot gently if it feels right to get a little more length. Make sure you're keeping that edge. And then turning from the rib cage, reach. Settling in, finding the yin and yang. Smooth rhythm of breath. Flipping the left palm. We're going to reverse warrior. Remember that right hand's just going to rest here. We're lengthening both sides equally. Then coming back to warrior two, we're going to turn the palms out and do that. Tilt forward. Remember the option. Hand's going to come right inside the leg here. Hand on the hip. Open the shoulders up. Reach up. Long left side. Long right side of the body. Come on back up. Turn the palms down. Straighten the leg. Reverse triangle. Lift the left hand up. Then bringing the hands back down along the side. Lengthening the left side as much as you do the right. Find that tilt. And just find your triangle here. Remember the option, you can always put the hand on the sacrum if it feels like it's too much for the shoulder. Breathe. Notice your grounding. Where's the breath? And from here, back up into your last warrior here. Then hands to hip creases. Pivot the feet. Let yourself hinge forward one more time. Finding the floor with your hands. You have the option if you want to go out and find a wide leg down dog or reach the hands through. Wherever you're at, staying in that breath. And from here, wherever the hands are, you're going to bring them back underneath the shoulder heads. From here, we're just going to walk the hands to the front of the mat. And we're going to draw that right leg back and down, meeting the left, taking a cat and a cow. So from here, we're going to swing the legs to either the right or the left, and you're going to find your strap. Make sure that the strap is easily accessible here. Then extend the legs long on the mat. We're going to set up our Dandasana. So we worked really hard to create all this length in the body, side body, front body, back body, nice strong core, nice relaxed shoulders, beautiful smooth breath. So hopefully we got here and this feels maybe different than the last time you did Dandasana. Notice a nice micro bend in the knees, and if you need to, you can make the knees bend a little bit more to keep that beautiful length. Then reaching the arms up and overhead, you're going to draw the hands through to heart center here and pause. From here, keeping the legs long if you can, but if you need to bend the knees, no, it's always an option. Remember, we're being kind and gentle, staying in that smooth breath, long spine. Start to articulate that spine down onto the mat. Making sure I left enough room back here. Noticing the strength that you created and built. Once the spine gets on the mat, allow the hands to come down along the side of the body. Just check in with the vibrations that you feel. And then bringing both feet to the floor, knees facing up, adjust the pelvis, find that beautiful length in the spine, and then grab your strap or your towel or your belt. From here, you're going to place it on the ball of your foot. So you can look and see where it is on my foot if you need to. We're going to do left side first. You do not want it in the space here. You want it up on where the bones are. Once you have it there, you're going to extend it up, and you're just going to find that place where hopefully you can bring the triceps back down to the mat. And then from this space, start drawing the toes back towards the nose. Find that pelvis again at neutral. If it feels okay to extend the right leg long, notice how it shifts and changes. If it feels right to have a bend in that left knee, go ahead and go there. Just pausing here to stretch the hamstrings just a little bit. We did a lot of work lengthening the back side of the spine, a lot of work along the spine. We know everything's connected, so let's make sure that our hamstrings are nice and happy here. As they start to open up, let's push the heel up maybe a little more. And then as you're ready, we're going to release this left side. So start to draw the knee into the chest. You can let the strap go. Bring that left foot to the floor, and we're going to move right on to the right side. So same thing, make sure it's on the ball of the foot. Using that core strength, that nice neutral pelvis. Lifting up. Starting to stretch. If it feels right to extend the left leg, go ahead and go there. Noticing the difference between the left and the right foot. As it begins to open up, maybe starting to press the heel up towards the ceiling a little more. See if you can have the triceps nice and relaxed on the mat. So you're keeping a nice broad chest here too. Then from here, when you're ready, releasing that leg. We're going to bring the feet to the floor, knees facing up. And then remembering when we went into Utkatasana, the strength that we built in the legs, we're going to ground the feet into the floor. We're going to place the hands along the side of the body. Palms are going to face down. We're going to move through some dynamic bridges. You're welcome if you feel the need to hold your bridge to do it. But pressing into the feet, allowing the hips to come up evenly, equally. Exhaling, lowering back down. Moving through 5 rounds at your pace. Pressing into the feet. Letting the front side of the body get a nice stretch. After a couple rounds, if it feels like you want to hold for a few breaths, go ahead and go there. Remembering the options to tuck the shoulders under, hold on to interlace the fingers. For those that are feeling super strong, you want to come up onto your toes too. You can also lift a leg up. Wherever you're at, we're going to all meet with the pelvis back on the floor. We're going to hug the knees into the chest. And then from here, you're going to bring the knees over the hips one more time. And then you're just going to extend the legs up towards the ceiling. Finding legs of the wall. Finding that beautiful, smooth breath again. Remembering you can always bend the knees. The hamstrings are feeling tight. With all the sitting we've been doing, hamstrings get tight really quick. Notice where's the breath. Send that nurturing love throughout the body. And as you're ready, you're going to draw the knees into the chest one last time. Holding onto the shins if that feels right. As you draw them in a little bit more. And it feels right to go into a twist from here, you're welcome to. Drawing the knees over towards the right side. If it feels right to take that left shoulder up here, you're welcome to. This is a little deeper twist. We did a lot of work on the back side of the body, hopefully getting into the rib cage a little bit more. We're also going to challenge your core a little bit here. So as you're ready, you're going to lift the legs back up and draw them back to center. Hug the knees in. And then as you're ready, using all that strength that you just built, you're going to draw the knees over to the left side. Remembering the goal isn't to get the knees to the floor, so you can pause if you want. And then as you're ready, use that core strength. On an inhale, come back to center. Hug the knees in one last time. And if it feels right, to start to draw the knees in a little closer and bring yourself into breathless, drawing the chin, nose, forehead up. And then when you're ready to inhale, begin to release the shoulders back down. Release the arms down. Staying in that beautiful breath, using all the strength and mobility that you just brought in, gently bringing the feet to the floor. And then finding your shape for your Shavasana. Extending the legs out if that feels right. Knowing if you'd like to move into another position, wherever you can come to find that relaxation. As we'll close practice in Shavasana, I encourage you, if you have the opportunity, to stay after you hear the singing. allowing yourself to take in all the benefits of your practice of ahimsa. Finding that space of nurturing as we move throughout the summer. On Thursday nights, we'll expand this practice, allowing ourselves these opportunities to find maybe new sensation, new growth, new ways to nurture and love ourselves in these extraordinary times. In that way, allowing us the opportunity to share that ahimsa with all those around us. May you all be safe from any harm. May you be strong and vital. May you truly be at peace. May you and everyone you love prosper. I thank you so much for the opportunity to share practice with you this evening. May you be safe, healthy, happy, and at ease. From my heart to all of your hearts. Namo Namaha. Namaste.